Hi, I thought we could take a quick. I forgot to say hi. I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I have this book on subway art, which I would have called graffiti. But Martha Cooper and Henry Chalfant are calling it subway art. It is interesting because some of it's awesome, like really artistic. So I don't know. We'll just take a look through and see what we see here. Here's a train car. It says Merry Christmas. It has Smurfette. She might be smoking a joint. I'm not sure. I can't quite tell on a Christmas tree. And then some soup cans a la. I'm blanking his name. Oh my God. Andy Warhol. Isn't that weird how that happens? Look at this guy between two train cars. I just wonder how they get way up there. He's standing on them. Look at that. When they're next to each other. Well, that makes sense. Subway art. All right, let's see. What do they tell us? While thousands of kids are writing their names on every available surface in New York City, masterpieces such as appear on these pages are relatively rare. The writers face many obstacles in pursuit of their goal to light up the line. They work in darkness, surrounded by dangerous machinery and live third rails, or balanced on the cross ties of the elevated tracks high above the street. Painting their names on subway trains is illegal in New York City, and so the writers must be ready at any moment to dash down the tracks to safety if the police conduct a raid. In addition to such perils, they endure their irate parents' wrath at home and the attacks of hostile rivals in the streets. Let's see, when was this published? Let's just take a look. 2004. So 21 years ago. Wow. Wow. Let's see. Marty. Did I call that person Mary? Martha. Oh, she goes by Marty. Okay. A photojournalist took action shots of the writers while they pursued their vocation. She photographed their art on the trains as part of the whole urban environment. Henry began to photograph trains as a way of documenting this ephemeral art. Sometimes I see a word, it takes a minute. An artist himself, he focused his attention on the paintings. So one time, this guy in a city I lived in was arrested. I'm trying to remember how it all happened, but for doing artwork like this, I can't remember the whole thing, but they had I feel like he ended up dying by suicide, I think, and his family, they did a benefit for his family, and I was in the art world, and I went, and the whole thing was pretty cool. They had all his work set up, stuff he'd done and stuff. But my friend, who's more of a professional artist, contemporary painter, he was like, why you shouldn't kind of be supporting that. And I was like, well, it's still art. And we had a whole discussion on what is art kind of thing, Anyway, so there you go. MID, I don't know what, MIDG? I don't know. I don't know what that stands for. So this is 20-some years ago, he said. All right, well, we'll just kind of flip through and see what catches our eye. A further development of graffiti is what the writers called 3D, the illusion of depth. Writers began to use this technique extensively in the mid-70s. They're calling the people who do this writers, just so you know. So in the mid-70s, they started to do 3D. Here, the 3D is distinguished from the face of the letters by imaginative use of color and design elements such as stars, flags, checkerboards, and dollar signs, all of which are called designs by the writers. Well, that one's definitely got the 3D. Old style graffiti done by Smiley and Ked, a couple of old timers who did this anachronistic piece in 1980. 1980. I was only 10 years old. Train lines. The transit system connecting the far-flung boroughs of New York City is made up of 3 lines: the IRT, or the Interborough Rapid Transit, the BMT, the Brooklyn Mass Transit, and the IND, Independent Subway System. These were originally separate private companies, but now operate under the umbrella organization, the MTA, or Metropolitan Transit Authority. Graffiti writers have a knowledge of the system which rivals that of any train buff or transit worker. They know the location of all the yards and layups where the trains are parked when not in use, and all the means of access, be they holes in the fence or out-of-the-way manhole covers that can afford a quick means of escape. Wow. Hell is for Children by Is the Wiz, 1982. I mean, you have to admit, these are pretty boring looking. They do look kind of cool. The Bad Artist. We are unstoppable. We are uncatchable. We are nasty. There's a duck. Adjectives such as bad, nasty, and vicious are used as boastful superlatives. Okay. Fame. I'm afraid to read these without pre-reading them in case it says anything. Me and my boys turn eyes on the toys. When we seek the trains, they go insane. That's what it is. The name of the game is graffiti. Fame. And a guy going, yeah. Flying Eyeball by Kid Panama. D's. Is that where D's nuts go? A throw up which takes only minutes to execute will ruin a piece which may have taken 8 hours of painstaking work. Oh, I get it. So somebody worked hours to make this giant piece behind here, and then somebody came and went D's all over the top of it and kind of ruined it, or like this, I guess. That's interesting. I mean, look at this. Look at all these are painted on, these doors. They're not really, you know. They just added that. It's kind of wild. There's like a graveyard, I think, and then a dead fish or something. I don't know what that is. I can't quite read these words, though, I have to say. Not sure what it says. This girl with all her spray paints and her dog. They're calling them writers. I've always heard them called taggers. But maybe that's different. Taggers are just putting their like initials. I don't know. Going to the yards. Entering the yard. I'm surprised these guys are letting their face be shown. T. Kid says, the success of every good writer is that they get a good partner. One partner gives the other partner a style, and one does the fill-in. This is how a lot of cars get done. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they're showing their faces so much in this book. The source for Dondi's character, a Vobode cartoon. Yeah, that cartoon's familiar. Children of the Grave Again, Part 3. I mean, wow. This guy hanging upside down from this thing. Playing on the wrecked train. photo. They caught the reflection like swirling. Yeah, these look 1980s. All these people with their, hats and stuff. That feels 1980s, doesn't it? It's funny to think these are all grown adults. Vandal. Kid. Damn, that mad. Which can be read either direction. Except for that. Almost. Kiddish. Quick. Extra, extra. TNT takes over New York City. TNT 5, MTA 0. Okay. Partners in crime. Trap with his mentor, Des. She's the mentor. There's another Smurf. What is this? This is actually pretty artistic. What does it say? What? It says. I don't know what it says. Artist. Why am I having trouble reading this? It looks like UNI. Okay. Is it Unified Artist? That must be what it is. Unified Artist. That's from Wizard of Id. Kings. Graffiti writers often top their tags and pieces with a crown, symbolize one of their goals, to be king. Is the whiz. So a hand with a knife blade that's dripping blood. Oh. Uh-oh. Hey, look at this. What? Does that say a word? Maybe it looks, maybe you can see it better. Let's see. Can you see it better in the camera? I can't tell what it says. I think it says something. I feel like it says BLADE, blade. I figured it out. Look at that. Oh. Wow. The Death Squad. This masterpiece by Knock uses both wild style and straight letters to underline the differences in styles. So these are straight letters. And these are wild style. Wild style. Style is a very concrete idea among writers. It is form, the shapes of the letters, and how they connect. There are various categories of style, ranging from the old simple bubble letters or peppermint stick letters to the highly evolved and complex wild style, an energetic interlocking construction of letters with arrows and other forms that signify movement and direction. Wild style. Styles vary from writer to writer, from crew to crew, and from line to line. There's always something to learn, Always something. Tagging. The tag is stylized personal signature. Kids work hard at perfecting their tag before making them public. And in tagging, they confront for the first time the need to have style. See, this is like this. Sometimes, they tag like private buildings and stuff. It's like, that's not great. Not great at all. Window down whole car. What? A window down whole car consists of 2 or 3 names below the windows and extending the length of the subway car. Okay. These pieces can be in any of 3 or 4 current styles, but when more than one artist is involved, the collaborators try to maintain stylistic harmony with one another. In fact, one artist often supplies the sketches for the others, thus ensuring a unity of style. Okay. Top to bottom. A top to bottom is a piece which extends the whole height of the car from the top to the bottom, but not necessarily the whole length. I mean, look at that. MAD. Top to bottom, whole car. Trap these days. And this one has like stone. Can't quite make out what this says. Something city. Tough city, maybe. I don't know. Oh. I don't know. Happy birthday. Mad scene. There's Mickey Mouse. Donkey Kong and Mario characters. I mean, kind of. Oh, there they are on here. Donkey Kong. Like a Dracula. Pink Panther. Ninja Turtle. Sometimes characters are used in place of letters. Blade and Dolores. Love Stinks by Zephyr. That's this one. Dedications. I don't know. They use trains as public forums where they can make philosophical and political statements. Mom. Here's some political ones, I guess. Stop the bomb. Don't clutch. This is what graffiti art is, not the other way around. What does that mean? Stop, look, and listen. We are the sons of the ghetto, and we will survive. It's kind of interesting. This man is standing here looking out the window when they took the picture. War is selfish death. Peace, not war. What does that say? John Lennon and Yoko, the Beatles. And then they have all these graves. What is this about? I can't read them. I think this is John Bonham, doesn't it? Janis Joplin, John Lennon. Oh, I can't read that one. Dang, my eyes aren't good enough. Does it tell you? Eulogy to John Lennon and Deceased Rock Stars by Lady Pink and Is the Wiz. I wish I could read them all. I can't. Happy holidays. Pretty good little Santa Claus right there. To the boys in blue, catch me if you can. Oh boy. These two police officers. She looks like she's going. That's funny. That's a funny picture. Caught you sleeping. Oh boy. interesting. I don't know. I just wanted to look at it and see what they're saying about it. On this last one, I didn't read it out loud. Maybe I should. It says, there was once a time when the Lexington was a beautiful line, when children of the ghetto expressed with art, not with crime. But then, as evolution passed, the transit's buffing did its blast, and now the trains look like rusted trash. Now we wonder if graffiti will ever last. I guess the train companies are buffing it all out.